Thanks for listening to the Woodward Podcast Network. Check out more shows by searching for us on Spreaker or wherever you catch your podcasts. The Woodward Podcast Network with Krupka Dental Associates.
Hello, this is Dr. John Krupka from Krupka Dental. We now have the Soleil laser. You can have your fillings done without needles nor drills. We are a full-service dental office and always accepting new patients. To learn more about me and my friendly team, visit krupkadental.com.
Good afternoon. At 5:30, it's cloudy with rain and 66. I'm Terry Kavarik. Wisconsin sees a second day-to-day drop in the average of new coronavirus cases in 1 week. That marks the second day of a decrease since July 4th. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services says another 2,018 people are confirmed to have the virus in the latest round of testing. The 7-day average is 1,744 per day. COVID-19 deaths were reported in the double-digit range for the fourth time this week. 14 deaths have been reported over the past 14 days. That brings Wisconsin's death toll to 7,652. Brown, Fond du Lac, Kewaunee, and Winnebago counties are each reporting one more death. COVID-19 masking policies in schools vary from district to district. The Green Bay Area Public School District requires everyone to mask while indoors. The Unified School District of De Pere, however, requires mandatory masking for students up to 6th grade. Students in the upper grades are only encouraged to mask. Such disparities can create potential psychological effects, especially among 12 and 13-year-olds who may feel a lot of peer pressure. Theta Care Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jennifer Frank says such differences in beliefs about masking can also be a positive learning tool for students, parents, and teachers.
And that is the fear I think that a lot of parents have is why should I make them wear a mask when nobody else is? And it's teaching them that being different is okay, right? That being different isn't always bad. And that we can always, as parents, let our kids use us as an excuse.
Health experts believe peer pressure among middle schools can be somewhat offset by reinforcing that masking keeps friends, family, and the community safe. Republican Senator Rob Coles of Alloway does not support a legal challenge to UW system COVID mitigation measures.
We picked these border regions, and they should run the university and not have all this minutia oversight by the legislature. Now, could this be litigated? Yes, it could be. I do think if they're looking at the statutes that the regions have the authority to control their buildings.
Coles trusts the decision system President Tommy Thompson made. Thompson says he will ignore a rule giving the legislature the final word on any new restrictions related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The cash reward for COVID-19 vaccinations is a success and will be extended. That decision was announced by Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services this morning. The $100 COVID-19 vaccine reward program started August 20th and was scheduled to end on Wednesday. It's now been extended through September 30th. More than 65,000 people have taken advantage of the program to get their first dose of vaccine, and those who are interested in the program can register online at 100.wisconsin.gov or call 884-684-1064. A second suspect in a Neenah shooting is now in custody. 18-year-old Trino Sanchez was arrested during a traffic stop on Thursday. He's charged with reckless injury and party to the crime of armed robbery. Those charges are in connection with an August 3rd shooting incident in the 1200 block of Primrose Lane. A 28-year-old man was found by police with gunshot wounds to both legs. He was later hospitalized. A second suspect, 22-year-old Javante Mabry, was arrested August 16th in Oshkosh. A third man, 20-year-old Tyrell Anderson, is still being sought as a person of interest. The head of Prevea Health is praising the 2 at-home COVID testing kits. According to Dr. Ashok Rai, a PCR test takes 1 to 2 days to get results, and the antigen test gives rapid results.
The benefit is if you're symptomatic, you know you have COVID, you know you need to isolate, you know you've probably infected other people, and you can contact them right away, especially in a household. If you have a symptomatic child, you swab them, then you know you probably have to quarantine your home.
He thinks the PCR test is better than the antigen test because it's more accurate. But Rai believes the antigen test has come a long way. He thinks they do a great job determining positive cases, but need improvement when it comes to determining negative results. UW-Oshkosh researchers will be conducting groundwater studies in Door County this fall. Residents can volunteer to provide samples of their well water for quality testing. There will be a small charge for the processing. Researchers will be looking for levels of bacteria, nitrates, and arsenic. The UWO Environmental Research and Innovation Center started this type of testing in 2019. A final homecoming memorial is a week away for Malcolm, Leroy, and Randolph Butt, the barber of New London. They enlisted in the U.S. Navy prior to World War II and died together aboard the USS Oklahoma during the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. Nearly 8 decades later, the three brothers' remains are back on home soil awaiting interment. Kent Rush, the owner of Klein and Hansen Funeral Home, told Action 2 News what added to the tragedy of the brothers' deaths is the fact that family members tried to get them transferred to separate vessels.
Shortly before December 7th, their father wrote a letter to the U.S. Navy saying, hey, I really don't like the idea of my 3 sons being on the same ship, and asked to have them put on different ships.
After Pearl Harbor, the U.S. military adopted a policy of keeping siblings from serving in the same ships or units. Services are set for September 11th at 11 a.m. at Most Precious Blood Cemetery in New London.
Addiction is a disease that impacts all of us. Whether you, your neighbor, friend, or family member is struggling, everyone feels the pain of addiction. Recovery Centers of America wants you to know that addiction treatment works and recovery is possible. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now for help for yourself or a loved one. Recovery Centers of America, Capital Region, and Bracebridge Hall have helped thousands of patients in the D.C., Maryland area start a better, healthier way of life through their evidence-based inpatient and outpatient treatment programs. The caring team of physicians and clinicians at RCA see their patients as so much more than their addiction and are deeply committed to providing expert care with heart. Recovery Centers of America knows that every day in active addiction is a day in isolation, which is why they admit new patients 24/7 year-round. Don't wait. Make the call that can change everything. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now. That's 1-888-RECOVERY.